is a crazy number. To get 2 million people all around the world clean water, $8 million is a crazy number.
Okay, anybody know this guy? He's talking about clean water and raising money. If you could tell him, use the law, the Public Trust Doctrine, where it ensures that, every government will do their best to keep the air clean, the water clean, the land clean. It discusses a lot of things, So how about tell them throw some clean air in there, and all this pollution, really needs to stop or slow down. There's a lot of people coming up with ideas for it, but tell them instead of asking people for donations, start asking people to look up the Public Trust Doctrine and tell their governments to use their tax dollars. They're supposed to assure, water quality. Look up the Public Trust Doctrine. Tell this guy, Mr. Beast, I don't know. When I go on the internet, I go on the internet to look for people with legal issues and help them find resolution. Okay. So, what he's doing is admirable. Is admirable. I love this idea of people having clean water. Where I live at right now, the landlord isn't living up to ownership rules. Where they're supposed to keep the building up to par. They're not doing that. And the water, it came out sometimes orange and black, and it's really hard for me to get our public servants to live up to the Public Trust Doctrine, Mr. Beast. So far I'm the only one pushing it, using the Public Trust Doctrine. Actually, I think that's why they eliminated alligator Alcatraz, because, it's, environmental, protections, but that's through the Public Trust Doctrine, everybody should look that up, the Public Trust Doctrine. If you want cleaner water, cleaner air, less pollution, you want, like those people that they have farms and ranches, and all of a sudden they got an oil well that popped out outside, not too far outside the door, and emitting these noxious fumes, and their cattle are dropping dead, people are dropping dead. I don't care where it's at, who it is. This is the United States of America. Our public servants are required to abide by the Public Trust Doctrine, enforce it, but nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it, okay? So ask this guy, Mr. Beast, please refer to the Public Trust Doctrine. He's got a lot of people that listen to him, a lot of people that, I guess, talk to him, but I'm not trying to bring any attention to me. I'm trying to bring attention to what we do here at Legal Reform. Try to get people to live up to the law, to the letter, word for word, as required by the letter of the law. Otherwise, there's penalties behind violating the letter of the law. Fees, removal from public service, and incarceration. The same thing for, violating the Public Trust Doctrine. But, when it comes to public servants, they don't like you to know about, those, as they would say, unneeded laws. So they're there, it's just that nobody's talking about it, and definitely nobody's enforcing it, Mr. Beast. Look up the Public Trust Doctrine, and don't let anybody tell you, it says it means something other than it says use the letter of the law, please. Okay, and then look up penalties for violating the letter of the law, so they'll shut the hell up. There's no argument that we should have clean water, clean air. But, doing that, sharing that costs money and will cut into corporate profits. They don't like cutting into corporate profits, so what they do, any expense, they pass it off on the consumer, which is not in the public interest. Look up the public interest too, Mr. Beast. Okay, you're doing what's in the public interest, which is the legal responsibilities, of all politicians in any democracy. Anywhere the rule of law exists, so should the Public Trust Doctrine. It's part of the democracy thing. All right, that's, Public Trust Doctrine is universal in every democracy. So, Mr. Beast, I could really use your help promoting the Public Trust Doctrine. I mean, you're doing it right now. You're doing a wonderful job. I understand people love you. The people I deal with hate me. The people I deal with usually in a court of law, lawyers, judges. All right. But, please, Mr. Beast, I don't know if you're a Christian, but I'm Catholic, and I do pray that one day, all public servants, in all countries will see to it, that they do what's required, make sure we have clean water, clean air, unpolluted lands, protecting wildlife, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, but anybody, please, if you can get this to this Mr. Beast guy. All right, I hear he's he does a lot of things. I don't know. I just see he's pretty popular, so I'm hoping somebody can reach this popular person and he can help me promote the Public Trust Doctrine. It's the law. It's the law. I'm just trying to get, people to live up to it, to enforce it, to see to it happens, So many people around the world, so many people in my country alone, the United States, suffering from bad water quality because their publics didn't do nothing to ensure that nobody did any bad things to it. Okay, I mean, it's not just hurting the people, but the wildlife, anything in the water, surrounding the water. It's very important to me as a man of the people. I think it's very important to we the people of the United States protect our water, our lands. I'm not just talking about border walls. I'm talking about clean water. No microplastics in it. All right, thanks everybody for listening. If you can get this to Mr. Beast and just tell him, hey, look up the Public Trust Doctrine, do that, And that would help him out a lot. That would help out a lot more people, a lot quicker, a lot faster, and that'll make what he amassed seem like a mere pittance, pocket change. And nobody will have to donate. It'll have to come out, what taxpayer dollars what are supposed to do, protect those waters. All right. I used to tell people years ago, one day there's going to be a war over water. Like there used to be wars over, oil. Pretty soon, the needs of oil isn't going to be quite as what it used to be, but the need for water will never change. It sustains us. We can live without the use of oil. I'm quite sure. But water, drinkable water, freshwater resources are slowly being diminished, and that's due to pollution. Together we can stop this. I don't mean just me and Mr. Beast people, all of us. Start promoting, start pushing. Research the Public Trust Doctrine. There's a lot of things in there that should be happening that aren't happening. And that's because all your public servants are violating the basic obligations of public service. You know, they sold you out and let these evildoers, you know, corporations, conglomerates, you know, do what's cheapest for them. And that came at your expense, or the people's expense. That came at the people's expense. I always knew it would. But I don't want to see any wars being fought over clean water. That's unnecessary. So if we start promoting the Public Trust Doctrine now, hopefully that'll never happen. All right, thank you, everyone. May your Creator always be with you, and may He always rain many blessings. Here's to your long life and good health. Peace be with you.